Hello, this is Ryan from Let's Roleplay, and you're watching channel news from May 29th, 2022. Now, where to begin today? This is actually my second take on the video. This light from my monitor casts a huge white shadow on my shirt, my black shirt, which everything shows up, and I didn't realize that I had a few stuff on my shirt. Not this shirt, I've had to change it. I was wearing my Oblivion shirt, which you'll see for when I go to the Q&A for like 45 seconds, that little cut in to see what it looks like on YouTube, the questions. Yeah, so this is my second take, and I did an hour-long one, and I looked at it with this light shining it from my monitor, where my Word program is. It is a lot of light. You can see the difference between where the decal was put on. Decal, sorry. I've always called it decal. The decal was put on my shirt. You can see where it is compared to the black, so yeah, that's not the reason why. I just had something on here, and I think there's something on my sleeve on the last one, and that's a little embarrassing, so I'm doing this again for another hour, so let's start. Let's get back to it. So, the poll about my worst Let's Roleplay series should be about my performance, not the games themselves. I think that people had thought some people are just voting for the game that they like the least. And, yeah, it was never meant to be something self-destructive. Sorry, if that was the impression that some people have gotten. I'm doing good, so don't worry about me self-destructing. Buck, don't worry. Everything's good. It was just I created that poll just so everyone would have an interesting choice. That's all I was thinking to make. It wasn't meant to be something self-critical and self-destructive about myself. So don't worry about it. I mean, I'm happy that you just put that I refuse to vote in this poll, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. So, because I know you care about me, Buck. You care about the channel, and you want me to keep on putting out good content, and that's cool, so don't worry about it, man. So, speaking of shirts, I ordered new shirts, and they're not black either. I made sure of it this time. There's a website I went to that has, people who made their own type of emblems. A lot of it's just cut right out of video games. And I guess you put it on a shirt, and there's like 20 different colors to choose from. So I ordered 2 from Morrowind, one with the Silt Strider. And not one of them is black. They all have different colors. One's for Neverwinter Nights, and one has the big Morrowind, the triangle type thing on it. So I'll be happy to wear that. It's supposed to be here mid-June. June 10th, I think. So I'll be happy to start wearing those shirts. It wasn't even something I planned originally when I was doing my webcam videos, because I had 2 shirts, a Fallout 4 one and Pillars of Eternity shirt. And I think, when's the best time to wear those? It should be when I'm making webcam videos, and I had actually barely wore those over the years I had them. I had them from like 2015 and 2016. I think I maybe wore them twice over that period, and I was thinking of saving them up for doing webcam videos on my channel, and then it occurred to me, why not get more? So I have a Skyrim one, an Oblivion one. I have 2 Skyrim ones. One isn't very good. And I have a Fallout 4, Pillars of Eternity. I think those are the only ones that I do have. Yeah, so like 4 video games. So now I'm going to have 2 more. And I'm getting a little tired of the all-black shirts, t-shirts too, so I made sure that these ones are not black. One of them is a gray. Yeah, so beige and then whatever. I forget the other one. That's kind of like the Morrowind colors, the brown and the sandy type beige together is kind of like the color that they work with. Maybe even an orange. But I didn't order an orange. Or did I? I'm not sure. Anyway, so no, they're not black. So, yeah. I can do that with a whole bunch of video games in the future. Each webcam video will have a different shirt. It doesn't have to be for one of the video games I'm currently working on either. So, let's get to the next one, next topic. There are some absolutely awesome mods out there that I plan to use for Skyrim. Now, I keep talking about the speech synthesis, if I can say it right, synthesis for the future of RPGs. There is a mod where someone created a speech synthesis thing where in Skyrim, everybody will say your typed in name. Every different voice actor, they've kind of emulated their voice, and it sounds pretty close. Whatever you type in your name, and I've gone over that with Fallout 4, where out of the 300 names that Codsworth will say to you, just that one character, Codsworth. I think it's at 150 or maybe 200 to 300, something like that. Different names. My name, my real life name, Ryan, is on it, so I would use that. Moore is not my last name, so if you're thinking that that's my full name, that's not it. It's my first real name. My first name is the real name. But, yeah, so whatever name I choose, I'm not going to choose Ryan, but if I want to choose Ryan, if it works for the mod in Skyrim, then everybody will call me Ryan. Now, the thing is, it's in place of Dragonborn. So, wherever, if you think about all the times that they call you Dragonborn, which is your title, because that's what you are, the only thing is, if it completely overwrites all the Dragonborn, that would bother me, because the Greybeards should be calling you Dragonborn when you go to see them. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I mean, I'll look into it, and I'm interested in it, definitely. But there's other mods, like looking through the keyhole. So I think in real life, if you could look through the big keyholes that they had back then, medieval-style keyholes, it would be like this realm of view. But I think they expanded it so you can actually see a lot more than that to make it more functional. So you can see whoever's inside the place that you're about to burgle, or see if there's anybody in. It's just interesting to add to the role play, especially for a thief, which I will be playing, as that will be my character type, thief. And yeah, I'm really excited to do that in the future. That is that and other things that just to make the world more lively. I love that. Make a more realistic lived-in world. I'm totally down with that. Speech synthesis, having characters act more like they're real. I love that kind of stuff. So there's another one, lively children animation, and bandits say a lot more things, among some others. There was one that somebody did a few years ago where you knock on the door. It could have been like 8-10 years ago. Where you knock on the door and somebody inside, if there's someone home, they'll answer. And I've always liked that. I think that's pretty neat. I mean, you don't just walk into somebody's house, right? Whenever you go to somebody's home, realistically, you knock. And in the game, it's either it's locked or it's open. If it's locked, you can unlock it, then go in. But it just seems like everybody just goes into wherever. Your player character can go wherever they want, which isn't exactly real. So if somebody is home and you just walk in there, they'll tell you to get out if they don't want you in there. But you should be able to knock, and they'll answer. They'll say, hey, Ryan, or sorry, you'll knock, and they'll answer back, what do you want? And I'm saying, it's Ryan, I'm here to see you. I don't know, as if that would happen. But I would say that, something like that, if that was my character's name. But I just find that, because that wasn't, something like that isn't in the game, it isn't in any Bethesda games, it's nice to have things that are more realistic like that, if you ask me. So the children are more lively, animation, whatever. Kids don't just sit still, they're always moving about, if you know little kids. And it's nice to have something more realistic like that. Another one, what did I say? The bandits say a lot more things, yeah. So if you listen to them, they'll, tell each other about what's going on in their lives. It's better than just the only thing you hear is them coming after you. We're gonna kill you type things, And that, I actually said this in my last take of this video, that the raiders in Fallout 4 do say a lot to each other if you are able to sneak in and listen to them. And that's something that I haven't been able to do with all the characters in my party. And I know I wear power armor, which also gets in the way of that. But even with power armor, if you just go in a little bit and you have, say, one character with you, I don't know, all my characters make so much noise, they hear me almost right away. So I have like, what, 3 other guys, companions with me? So, yeah, they say stories, and some of them are pretty funny. I went over it in my last video, but I don't feel like repeating it. But it is pretty funny to hear them. They're actually not just 1 or 2 lines. They go into whole stories that can last a minute or so. And one of them had me cracking up so much, it was really funny. So, I'll see if I can't get that to happen. I'd have to cut my companions down, and probably the best thing to do is not to wear power armor when I go in. So, I don't know, I also almost feel like I've killed so many raiders. I know there's raiders in the Nuka-Cola? What is that playground area? The Nuka-Cola Park? Whatever it is called. It's not coming to me, man. Blank slate in my head right now. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The DLC that was all about the raiders in the Nuka... whatever park it is. So yeah, that I assume that maybe I'll be able to hear them say things like that over there. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. So I am excited for Skyrim to come, and these mods are all, as far as I know, from that I've just highlighted here. They're from this year, so 2022. And let's just hope that they all work. You know how modding can go. Some of them could make your games crash, and or not work with other things. So we'll see. I just have to do my research. I've looked into what the mods do, not how they interact, and if there's a lot of complaints about crashing. I haven't done that yet because I haven't put together Skyrim and its mods yet. So another interesting thing, one of my subscribers believes that I sound exactly like Nate in Fallout 4. I thought it was maybe a little bit close, but I find it interesting. I think that should help my Fallout 4 videos, my Let's Roleplay videos. I don't think I sound exactly like him, and I did think there was a bit of similarities there, but, you know, close enough can help. So, I plan to put up more videos when time permits. It's not something I can, other than the live streaming, which we'll get into, it's not something that I can definitively say right now. It's really about, it's my sleep, right? That's been pretty bad the last 3 months. I would like to focus up on finishing Oblivion because I want to get to Skyrim, which is like my favorite game. Although with how much I've come to appreciate Fallout 4 again since I'm playing it, I don't know, it's kind of a battle between them, and I'd like to play them both and see how I feel. But I really do like Fallout 4. So my sleep has been really bad, and but I think it's changing now, and I'll explain why. But it's been really difficult to put up more videos. I want to put up more content on my channel. Sometimes, though, I can't even put out anything for a week, and just I'm just not sleeping right, and I'll make a lot of mistakes. And I don't want to do that. Yes, I really do want to make live videos. I realize that I don't have a big audience on YouTube. Small channel still. But you have to start somewhere. And even if I get like 1 or 2 people chatting away with me, I'm fine with that. It's just something that will grow. I mean, when I first made my channel, I had like nothing. So you grow from where you have, from what you have. And I would appreciate anybody being on there. And I know ahead of time I could advertise when I'm going to have a live stream. So we'll talk more about that in a bit, because Buck asked that in the Q&A. So I am taking something to help me sleep. It's not medication. It's not even supplement like melatonin. I found that I just couldn't fall asleep without melatonin earlier this year, so I had to cut out using it that much. What I'm doing now is helping a lot, and I've only been using it for 3 nights, so I'm just getting used to it. No drugs, nothing addicting, but it's working. And that's what counts. So the last 2 nights I've gotten around 7 hours or more sleep, which is pretty good for me. I'm usually getting 4 to 6 hours, which is not enough for me at all. 7 is minimum, but I prefer 8 or even 9 hours. That's optimum for me. I know my wife's aunt gets by on 3 hours of sleep a night. I have no idea how she does that. That seems crazy to me, but everybody's their own person. They're different. So I need 8, preferably. That's the targeted area. And I just haven't really gotten that this year. Yeah, so another thing I have to do is create a new channel ad that is current with my new channel title completely. Even in the channel ad I have up now, I need to talk better because I've talked so much in the last couple hours. And the channel ad I have up now, it actually refers to the old name in a couple spots that I didn't remove, which I thought that I did when I finished it up, because I added in the new channel name now, which is Let's Roleplay. But there's a couple parts in it that refer to Dale and 75 Games. Sorry, my boys upstairs are making a lot of noise. They shouldn't be doing that. Sorry, I had to get my boys behaving upstairs. So, another thing I have to do is create a new channel ad, which I just said. I was looking into that a few months back, but I had to put it on hold because of, my health that was going on. Yeah, let's go to the Q&A now. I think I'm going about twice as fast as I did previously. Alright, Buckle Backwoods wrote, probably could remove that. How is your current health? What are 3 things... Number 1, how is your current health? Number 2, what are 3 things that you would improve about Fallout 4? Number 3, what's the ETA on your upcoming live streams? Number 4. Which character of yours has been the most difficult for you to roleplay, and why? This is a good question. Number 5. What meal are you best at cooking? Good question, too, because I have to ask my wife what her favorite is. Number 6. What are your thoughts on my second favorite Canadian besides yourself? Of course, Devon Larat? Larat. I wrote, thanks, Buckle. I'll add that to the list. Alright. Buckle Backwoods asks for the first one is, how is your current health? My health is so bloody good right now. I'm not even exaggerating. It is. It's really, really good. I can't even describe the 180 it's taken. Mentally and physically, I'm probably as good as I've been in 10 years. I really am. We'll get to the sleep in a bit. So, I've been doing a lot of work on myself lately, dealing with all the trauma in my life and overcoming it. Some of that might sound pretty outlandish, because I know, personally, from suffering a lot of trauma from an abusive childhood, I can honestly say that it no longer affects me. And I'm a very much more confident person in general, no matter what I'm doing. Things were so bad with my health in the last 7 or 8 years, it was like a part of me was shutting down, bit by bit. Especially what happened earlier this year with vestibular neuritis that I suffered from January to March. It was awful. I was concerned that my life was taking a serious downturn in terms of health, and I had to do something, and I believe I found the answers I was looking for. It's working, and I just had to get my sleep in order, which has been a fight and a half the last couple months. It's really been bad. The problem was that I would just wake up 4 to 6 a.m. and just not want to feel like I didn't have to go back to sleep. It's like I need to get up and take care of the day, get on with the day. It doesn't help that, with springtime here, that I would see a little bit of light. I have blinds and big drape, heavy drape, but light would still go up a little bit in the room, and I would see that and I would think it's time to get up and get going, and I can't do that. I've had to force myself to go to sleep, focus on going to sleep. It's just a changing of the way that you think, and I've really had to do that. And the last couple nights, I've gotten really, really good sleep, not just because there's something else that I'm doing, but I think things are going to be a lot better for me from now on. So I'm very confident that I will be pretty good. My health-wise, mental and physical, are going to be really good from the future. And that's been always something that's really affected me. Sleep and the issues that have, headaches, migraines, nausea, and my injured spine. And the combination of all that has just made me a real basket case at times. That's why I've gotten ill so much. And I'm just so tired of it. I want to live my life and not just be sick and take care of my kids. That's all I've been doing, really. It's been my life the last 6 years, until I started back up my channel, because things were getting better health-wise. And I've had my ups and downs. I mean, I had shingles in 2020, mid-2020. I wasn't sleeping at all for weeks. Some of those nights I didn't get any sleep. It was terrible. I guess my body was so stressed out I got shingles, so... Anyways, so no worries. Things should be good from now on. The second question he asks, what are the 3 things that I would improve about Fallout 4? So I don't really have major gripes about Fallout 4. I don't understand why people do. I can see what they're pointing out, but it's never been a big deal to me. It's just like, fine. It's just not something I even focus on. Some people focus on minor things so much that it destroys their view of whatever it is. To me, Fallout 4 and Skyrim are GOAT. Greatest of all time. I had to look that one up after somebody said that to me on my channel. GOAT. I guess that's what all the youngins are saying these days. It's GOAT. So, I have few gripes with Fallout 4, and one of the few would be to... And this is more because people have complained about it, but I can see what they're talking about. Have a few less crazy outcomes of your replies. Make the replies more transparent. It's very, very minor, and I can live with how it is in the game, but that would be something that I would change if I could. Second one would be, I think I'd be able to clean up my settlements better. I think that would be something. Now, it's complicated because I have the Seasons mod that I added in, which puts leaves and other stuff that are now in the homes. And I know there's a mod to better clean up all the little junk, but that won't affect the Seasons mod, so I just kind of left it as it is. It's the cleaning up all the junk is sort of useless for my modded game now. I just want to see cleaner places like in my home and Sanctuary. It just seems like people don't sweep. Leaves are cluttering up inside your homes. No one sweeps anymore in this dystopian post-apocalyptic world future. And the third thing would be, I think you should be able to form an alliance between the three good and or neutral factions in the Commonwealth: the Minutemen, the Brotherhood of Steel, and the Railroad. I wish that was done officially in the game. The enemies of each of those three is the Institute, and I wish that they would have some kind of official alliance. You know, you go through making it all happen in the game. And instead, it's something... I don't know if there's a mod for it, but it will have to be most likely something I just add into my ending video. Just talk about it. So the third question, he asks, what's the ETA on your upcoming live streams? So, my live streams are always dependent upon my sleep. And I know I did try last year, but I failed. I have to set up things differently here. I've got a monitor over here, and the mic and boom will have to be moved over to the other side, and the mic will have to be on this side coming. I'll be speaking to this way. So I was, last year when I tried to do it, I tried to get all the chat on one screen. I don't know why I was focused on that. Probably because of the setup, how it is. I just thought it'd be easier. And you can do that. There is ways to do it. I just wasn't able to get it done. So what I will have to do is move this over here, move this monitor over a few inches, and set it up. So I did at one point have it so this monitor was set up to work. And I'll just use this monitor. It's a 22 inch. I think it's like 21.9 or something, or 21.9 inch. I just call it 22 inch. This is a 34 inch monitor. Yeah, so I'll just use this for the chat and then position it so I just have to tilt my head this way and then answer into the microphone. Just make it easier for me. I know people do it. I watch people have done streaming lots. So, yeah, you'll be able to chat with me even if I have a couple people joining in, or one person, or at times there may be no one. I'll still be doing it. You can always watch the video afterwards. It doesn't have to be while I'm making it. But like I said, I know you can advertise a video that you're going to put out ahead of time. So, I will be making a test for this Friday or Saturday, and I think I'm going to be using Hearthstone, which I'm having issues with in the last week. I've stopped playing it because I'm just so frustrated with how Blizzard, with their standard decks, how they made it so crazy. There should be no instant win card for the priests, which I've suffered from a few times, and a bunch of other craziness. It just seems like the higher you go up in the rankings, the more madness you come up against. The higher ranking players, they just have ridiculous cards that I really think a lot of it's pay to win to get those cards. I don't have those cards. Whatever. They got to make money, but you know what? I don't know. I disagree with some of these. I really hate I win cards. That should never be. I even had a character. I was just not a character, and a match where I was just about to beat the other guy, and he pulled out that kill the other hero card for. And I was it's just ridiculous. I've had that happen to me like 3 times in the last month, and something like that should not be in the game. I don't care if you have to go through a lot of hoops to get it. There should be no I win, kill other character, the other hero card. That should not exist. But I've had a lot of fun with Hearthstone. Conversely, I've really had a lot of fun. I was winning about 2/3 of the matches until I got really high ranking. Not really high, until I'm in silver. So, yeah. It's just some of the things that other players are pulling out. It should not exist. Blizzard. What the hell is wrong with you? It's all about money. I know it is. That's why they created these crazy cards that people can buy or luck out in getting from buying card decks. I don't know, Blizzard's been pretty controversial the last few years, but that, to me, you guys are just idiots for some of these cards that you... And it's not just one card. It's like a whole set of cards that all work together. Gimmicky type stuff that... Yeah. But I've had a lot of fun with it, and I wouldn't mind showing off a few matches just for a test live stream. So the real first game I wanted to get into, as I said, is Days Gone. I have not played it, and I'm saving it for a live stream. So I'm hoping it will be... I'll be putting out minimum 2 hours videos when I start on Days Gone. I could make 3-4 hour videos, who knows, but my goal is minimum 2 hours. And I'm really looking forward to that. So this weekend is Friday or Saturday, whichever works out best. It's what I'm going to be trying to do. So, it's all, actually, I should really put the caveat that it is dependent upon my sleep. It really is. It's always been dependent upon my sleep. The reason why I have one video, Let's Roleplay video out every 2 days is because of my sleep has been so bad. Like in the last week, I haven't been able to make any videos. So, that's where I stand with that. Number 4, fourth question. Which character of yours has been the most difficult for you to roleplay, and why? So I've gone over this. I originally had said Orin of Candlekeep due to the perception around me role-playing as a female. Though I think I did a pretty good job. As well as one can do when, you know, role-playing the opposite sex. But it wasn't really about me, it was the views from the others on my channel about it. I don't think that is the most difficult. I think it would be Evaldus Tall. And it's not just the voice change, it's his opposite alignment from my own. Personally, I consider myself neutral good. He's lawful evil. It's easy to play as an over-the-top evil character. It's not easy to roleplay in the head of one, but only for putting out his views in intelligent ways. And his personal history. His views, writing it out intelligently, believably, and acting it out believably, voice acting it out, I should say, and his history, that's not an easy thing for me to get into. It's something that takes a lot of extra thinking on my part. Yeah. It's just so different fundamentally from how I think, and I can't really put myself in that position. But, yeah. So probably Orin of Candlekeep second and Evaldus Tall first. Number 5. What meal are you best at cooking? Well, I cook a lot of things. I'm the cook for the family house. This house. Burritos are my favorite. And I made burritos last night and the whole family loved it. I find it's really dependent upon the rice. The rice flavoring. Like, you have to have a really nice Mexican tasting flavor in the rice, I find. Otherwise, if you don't, it won't be as good. So, 6. What are your thoughts on my second favorite Canadian, besides yourself, of course, Devin Larratt? So I had to look him up, Buck. I haven't heard of him before. There's not just a few Canadians up here. There's around 36 million of us, maybe 37. I think it's 37 now. Not YouTube. Wikipedia describes him as born April 24th, 75. He's a little bit older than me. He's a Canadian professional arm wrestler, YouTuber, and a former member of the Canadian Armed Forces. Devin Larratt is widely considered to be one of the best arm wrestlers of all time, and is currently the #1 ranked arm wrestler in North America. So awesome. I had no idea, and I didn't know that there was even a professional arm wrestlers out there. So, yeah, as I got into a big thing about how Americans and Canadians see each other here. So, as a Canadian myself, and this just goes for me personally, I'm really more of an American at heart. I love the United States, I really do. I don't really have much connection to my own country. One day I'd love to move down to the United States and become an American citizen. So I know that the United States has a lot of problems. Everywhere has problems, but with what's going on probably the last 6-7 years, there seems to be a lot of issues, especially right now, but there's people down in the United States that have more of the same mindset as me than up here where I live. I visited down with my wife's niece in Nebraska. She's married to an Air Force, a man in the Air Force, so they moved around. So Nebraska, 2014, we were there for 2 weeks when they had their second child, and then we went down to San Antonio in 2019 for a week. Just seemed like very beautiful places to me, and places are always nicer when you go visit. But anyways, we walked downtown San Antonio. We went to the Alamo, and we listened to an old timer speak the story, talk about this. Not speak, but he had a whole speech about the story of the Alamo, the battle that took place there. Yeah, I just really I like the United States. People seem very friendly, but again, like I said, when you're a tourist, everywhere can seem nice most of the time. I hear Vancouver, where I live, is a very nice place too. I've never gone on tours here, and I know there are tours. I haven't seen Vancouver as a tourist in my own city, so and other times we've gone to Disneyland, Disney World, a lot of fun, of course. We went on our cruise after our honeymoon went down to Florida, Miami. Yeah, went from there. Didn't get to see much of the States on that trip, but yeah, it was nice. A lot of American, almost all the passengers were American. It's just for some reason the staff, there's hardly any Americans. They're just from all over the world. Very strange. Like literally, they're not immigrants to the States. They literally are from. They're just working on the cruise line. They're from the Philippines, India. There's one Canadian we met. It was like everybody that worked there was not American. A lot of Eastern Europeans, Poles, and maybe Russians. I don't remember exactly. It just seemed that it was everyone that worked there, except for even the captain was Italian. Everyone but the announcer was American. We're not the only American was the announcer who would come on and talk to you. Everyone else was non-American. Very, very weird. So I think it also helps. There's other things. It's not just I'd like to visit there. It's the U.S. Founding Fathers and the Constitution, which was an example for the entire world. If you know your history, if you know what's going on. If you don't, then you might be clueless. Yeah, it is a massive example. It affected the entire Western world. It affected all the world. Every nation has affected their politics and the freedoms that people would like to have. That's all came out with the revolution. The U.S. Revolution against the British. The politics in general today is a battleground. It's like that in a lot of places, but especially in the U.S. However, think of it this way. But at least there is fighting. Up here in Canada, it's been more like a surrender before it began, and much in Europe the same way. Yeah. At least you guys are fighting it, and that's more those who are. It's more of my mindset. That's where I feel my heart is. Freedom. Freedom from tyranny, even if you don't see it as tyranny. That's the worst kind. So I remember waking up in a dream in which I did become an American citizen, and I was so happy and proud. I remember that very well. As I said, I just don't have that connection here in Canada. I think also my best friend that I grew up with, he also contributed to my thinking. He was very pro-American. USA was always the best, and through movies and stuff that I watched growing up, that's always stuck with me. That's how I feel. I don't dislike Canada. It's a beautiful country itself. I think there's a lot of nice Canadians, too nice, where they just don't speak up enough for what's right. And I think that's been the biggest issues, that we need to speak up. And this year, things are looking a little better. Canadians are starting to speak up. But we're far behind down in the US. It's like most of the country in the US is probably half to two-thirds are more of the mindset that I would put myself in, align myself with. Up here in Canada, you're lucky if a quarter of the population are actually awake. Yeah. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of walking on eggshells, being afraid that you can't be the person that you should be. And up here, it just seems like if you do speak like that, you will be attacked. So I don't appreciate that. Down in the States, you guys are better organized. There's a lot more of you. And there's just the silent majority is becoming the voice-first majority down there. Up in Canada, most people are the same way. There's a lot of people afraid. A lot of people. And they don't have the same news. You guys have different news. I'm not just talking about Fox News. With the internet, we've been able to see what the world is really like, what's actually happening. There's no excuse for anyone anywhere, especially in the English-speaking world, or that's not your primary language. If you can understand English and speak English, there's no excuse. This stuff has all been presented in the last 15, 20 years. There's no excuse to not know what's going on. So I am much more of an American at heart. Let's just leave it at that. So let's end this. If you would like to help out and support Let's Roleplay, you can donate at my Patreon account and become a member of my channel, which also comes with its perks. Just click on the join video to watch and see what I put together for what a member would get. I'm also on Twitter now, in the last month or so, putting out my views on things that come into my feed, or just putting out how I'm doing lately. All right, everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.